Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So long time no see. I have not done one of these I'm not sitting down, so one of these stand-up videos in a while. So I thought today I'll do another black model in Korea video. I thought I would give you guys more information about the E6 visa and modeling in Korea. I had made a video last time talking about ways to become a model in Korea, what visas there are, what type of agencies there are, and today I want to more specifically talk about the E6 visa and being an E6 visa model in Korea. So that will be today's video with more details, so stay tuned and watch the rest of the video if you are interested in being a model in Korea. The first thing I would like to say, the E6 visa is technically categorized by agencies and models in Korea as a freelance visa. This is a visa that you have more freedom on, and I talked about the C4 before. The C4 is not a freelance visa. If you guys want more details about the C4 visa, tell me down below and I will make more videos about the C4. But as I said, the C4 is the visa that usually stay in Korea for 3 years or whatever you go for 3 years, and the E6 is usually 1 to 2 years long. So the first thing I would like to start with is the E6 visa in details. As I said, the visa is usually 1 to 2 years long, and another thing that is to note is you would have to pay your health insurance in Korea, because if you're not a C4, if you're not here for like 3 to 6 months, you don't have to pay for health insurance. But if you're here for a year, you usually do have to pay for health insurance. And the second thing is you do have to pay taxes, and that is why your agencies have to stay on top of your taxes. So yeah, the next thing I would say, as I said before, the E6 is categorized as a freelance visa, and being a freelancer basically means you can find your own work if you want to. You kind of have to. Let me get into that. These are some pros to being an E6 visa model, which is basically a freelance model. So the first reason I think it's better to be a E6 than a C4 is you can find your own work. This is usually from Instagram or Facebook. If you are an E6 visa, you can get your own work. It does not only have to be from your agency. You can get DMs from photographers, you can get DMs from stylists, from makeup artists, and you guys can collab or whatever. And there are also Facebook groups dedicated to professional models in Korea, and sometimes there are castings that are listed on there. But I would say the biggest market is usually on Instagram. That's where a lot of models get their jobs who are E6 freelance visas, who are E6 visa models. The second thing is you are not tied to one agency. Yes, you are signed to one agency specifically, but you can also work with other agencies. E6 visas are notoriously known to like hands in every agency. Every agency has your com card in Korea because they can also take you to castings, they can give you jobs. That is another good thing. You are not tied to one agency. While C4s are exclusively tied to one agency, they cannot get jobs for anybody but their agency, which I think is really not the best choice if you are a black model in Korea, because the market is not only harder for black models, but it's also a little bit more scarce when it comes to jobs. While as if you're a white model, if you're exclusive, if you're unique, because there's just, no offense, there are a lot of white models who kind of look the same, so it kind of becomes hard for them to find jobs. But if you are a very unique looking white model, it's better to just be exclusive than be freelance. And the third thing is you have more freedom when it comes to traveling outside the country. As I said, the E6 is a year to 2 years, so you can leave, you can come and go as you want. The agency is not going to tell you you cannot leave the country unless they're a scam. I'll get to that in a bit. But C4s usually have to stay in Korea for 3 months, while as for an E6, you have a lot of freedom to go in and out the country. And then the other thing is, in terms of your private life, you do not have to consult your agency about anything. For C4 visas, they usually have to consult their agencies a little bit more. I don't really want to talk about C4 visas here. If you are curious on the C4 visa, tell me and I'll make a separate video. But yeah, for E6, you do not have to consult your agency about your private life. You don't have to tell them what you're doing in your private life, who you're meeting in your private life. Only your work life matters to your agency if you are E6. And now we will get to the worst parts of being a freelancer, of being an E6 visa. The first thing that I would say is the bad thing is you have to find your own housing. When you are a C4 visa, they provide housing, they give you housing, but they also take 50% of your earnings. But when you are a freelancer, you find your own housing. So you have to go through the headache of finding your own houses, paying your own bills. They do not pay any of your bills. They don't pay for your insurance, they don't pay for your house, they don't pay for your electricity bill. You pay for everything yourself. So you're basically by yourself in terms of your private life. Only your work life is connected to your agency, and that's it. Another thing I would say is there is no allowance. They do not give you any allowance. C4 visas get a weekly allowance. As I said, if you want to hear more specific details, tell me down below and I'll tell you how much they get for their allowance. But for E6, you do not get an allowance. You are by yourself when it comes to anything you do in your personal and private life. And the other thing is insurance is also paid by the model. Insurance these days is around $140 is how much we pay. It's pretty expensive. It started at $130 and now it's already at $140. It's pretty expensive, but you have to pay. It's not a choice. Like, you can't just say I'm not paying for my insurance. Unless you have global insurance, you have to pay for your national health insurance in Korea. Another thing is sometimes your agency will never give you any work. E6 agencies are notorious for not giving their models any work. You technically have to be out there by yourself searching for your own job. I have experienced I have moved agencies 3 times in my time in Korea, because as I kept going, I kept learning a little bit more. But I did have one agency that literally barely give me any work. I think they gave me 1 casting, and other than that, I was by myself. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm about to leave and go to a better agency because I can't do this. But yeah, they don't have to give you a job. So that is something very specific you need to remember. If you cannot market yourself, do not get the E6 visa, because you will have to market yourself. And if you're not good at marketing yourself, or your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever, you will be la vida broca. You will be broke. You will not be getting any money because your agency will not care about you, okay? And then the beware of the scammers. The E6 is notorious for having scammers. There's so many agencies in Korea popping up now, so many foreign agencies, and there's so many scammers. Like, the amount of scamming that there's the scamation of the nation. Oh, guys. There's so many scammers. Beware of these scammers. Like, there's so many agencies who look beautiful on the outside. Their social media is like dazzling. They're like, we'll give you the E6 visa, we'll sponsor you. First of all, any agency that like outwardly writes they will sponsor your visa, it's probably not a good agency, because it's illegal to sponsor a visa, because sponsoring means, here, I'll give you the visa and you give me money and you do whatever you want. So saying that out there, it's probably already a red flag, but that's just me. I think it's a red flag. And the most important thing about the E6 visa that some people just ignore is you are not allowed to be taking money from all the agencies. I did say before that you can work with different agencies. You can work with anyone, actually. If you're an E6 visa, freelance or whatever, you can work with anyone, but the money has to be coming in from one agency only, because that is the agency the government is knowing that you are working with. So you can't be taking like 10 different payments from 10 different agencies. I have heard of situations where models have been investigated by immigration because they were getting like suspicious amounts from suspicious accounts and they got deported. So just be careful when it comes to getting money from different people. It's in your best interest to just get it from your agency. Also, if you're really desperate to get a visa, just don't come. Like, don't come, because you are probably gonna get scammed and then you're gonna be unhappy, and then it's just not gonna be a good experience for you. Just make sure you are researching a lot. Make sure you are in the best space. Like, I know some people who just want to come to Korea just to come to Korea and live here, or just to get a Korean boyfriend and live here, and the E6 is notorious for having those type of people in it, because you basically pay $2,000 or however much money, and then they give you the E6 visa. Like, the E6 visa started off really well, but now it is just oh Lord have mercy. So just make sure you're not coming in with those type of intentions, because if you are caught, as I said, it's deportation and you can't come in for like 5 years or whatever. I'm not sure. As I said, Google it. Make sure you are moving legally in Korea, because the law don't like us too much here, okay? Like, the law is not pro-foreigner here. It's very much pro-Korean. So make sure you are being very careful when you're coming in with the E6 visa, because it is notorious for having scammers. It is notorious for having... The first thing you need to be aware, do not give your agency your passport. That is a way for them to basically control everything you are doing. When I tell you this agency was dragged up and down and up and down, but they still have one very popular person in their agency, and I'm just like, how has she not left yet? Girl! Anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video gave you an insight on the modeling world in Korea. As I said, research. If you have any other questions, comment down below. If you guys would like me to do a Q&A on modeling in Korea, comment down below and I can do a Q&A where I answer your questions on modeling in Korea, or being a model in Korea and all that. And for my black girls out there, be careful, because there is an agency out here that is taking advantage of the black community, because they do know it is a little harder for us. So just be careful, my black girls, my black boys, just be careful. Be careful, okay? Like, I wish I could tell y'all the agency's name, but I can't, because I would get sued so fast, and I don't got money to be out here being sued. I'm trying to be on the legal side of the world, okay? So just be careful. Anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, notification gang, all is up. Don't forget to click the bell down below so you can get notifications for when I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys. Bye.